Grr. So, I went through and recorded this whole thing, and it was probably like a solid 10 minutes long. And then I go to rewatch it on YouTube before publishing it, and it didn't record any sound. It's my kind of week, I swear. So, once again, you might get a slightly shorter video, because once I've answered everything once, it tends not to go as, like, I don't know, realistically the second time around. Because I already know what I'm going to say. I don't know, it just feels rehearsed. I hate it. Oh well, we'll start. Sarah wanted to know the scary movies from our childhood that probably weren't supposed to be scary. Um, I agree with her on Labyrinth. The bits where they're eating their eyeballs and throwing their hands, and it still creeps me out to watch it. I don't know. I just don't feel like that was necessary for a kid's movie at all. Brandon and I also rewatched The Dark Crystal, um, which, while still scary as an adult, it's also really deep and, like, really heavy for kids, I think. It was a little much. Um, One that probably was meant to be a little scary that I still found terrifying was Thriller. For some reason, my parents thought it'd be a good idea to let me watch that at like 5 or 6 years old, and I was terrified of Michael Jackson until I was 16. Still am, but for different reasons. But yeah, it kind of traumatized me a little bit. He's like a monster. He's a zombie. It's creepy. No. And it's not really a movie, but Fraggle Rock, I used to be terrified of the giants. Terrified! And looking back on it now, I went and bought a DVD. I'm not scared of Fraggle Rock, but it's kind of a weird show. I'm surprised I wasn't more scared of it as a kid. Um, Anna's question were the 3 things that you would tell someone to do before they die. And I started to, on my last video, answer this in a personal way, but that wasn't really her question. She wanted to know what you would tell someone else to do. So, number 1 for me, and I'm going to kind of echo a little bit of what Kat said, would be to travel to your number 1 spot. You know, everyone has that list of places that they want to go see, and I think if nothing else, if you can't go see all of it, you should at least go to that number 1 spot, experience the world, kind of like Kat said, see how things are different. And there's something just to be said for having dreamt of seeing a place and finally getting to step foot there and experience it. And I mean, for me, that's Ireland, and to do that in such a personal way with my friends and to have that kind of experience, I will never forget it. So I guess now if I were to find out I'm going to die, I could either say that was checked off the list or go to Italy or Greece or something. But number 2 would be to do something that terrifies you. If that's telling someone that you love them, if it's quitting your job and, you know, doing something that you truly love. For me, doing something like jumping out of an airplane. Because I think when you do something that terrifies you like that, there's not much that's more life-affirming. And, you know, if you're going to die, you need to at least be able to say that you really lived. And I think that's the best way to do it. Number 3 is to do something for someone else. Donate your money, donate your time, help a loved one, help a stranger, whatever, you know, suits your fancy, I guess. But I think a lot of people, when faced with mortality, that's why so many people cling to religion, is not so much a need to have a God or to believe in a God, but to believe in that if they die, some part of them will continue. And I really feel like the best way to ensure that, whether you believe in a God or not, is to leave that kind of legacy that other people can carry on. Kat's questions were if we've ever met a famous person and if they lived up to our expectations. I haven't met many. I'm quite jealous, really. When I was 8 or 9, we met Gene Wilder at Hilton Head. He's a creepy old man. He's funny, but he's kind of creepy. Really like orange, fake tanny too. Very strange. And speaking of him, that's probably a movie I can add to my movies that scared me as a child. Willy Wonka was damn creepy. I'm sorry. That man gave off some weird vibes. Number 2 would be Chuck Norris, who has come to our movie theater a number of times. He's kind of an ass. I think he's egotistical and shallow-minded and conceited, and I'm not a big fan. Not a big Chuck Norris fan. He was supposed to come to a charity event, completely didn't even show up. I don't know. I just, not a fan. I've seen Ashley Simpson and Ryan Cabrera, who also came to the theater. We weren't allowed to bother them. And they were in like baseball caps and wigs and things. So the impression I got was kind of like, you're a little full of yourself. No one cares that much. We're not going to bother the heck out of you. You're freaking Ashley Simpson and Ryan Cabrera. No one cares. I don't have any autographs though. I think when I was younger, I think I had a little flyer handout thing that one of my friends had given me that had Jonathan Taylor Thomas's signature on it, but I didn't get it. So to me, that's not really the same thing. It was just probably a stamp or something. It probably wasn't even handwritten. I think Kat should send me one of her extra Phelps twins autographs. Anyway, I'm awesome, and I have Cody's question, because apparently he likes me more than Kat. Maybe. Probably not. He wants to know whether you would want to have money, power, love, or wisdom. And at first I thought my answer was just obvious to me because I'm such a natural romantic. Like, I've always been a hopeless romantic. But the more I thought about it, the more there was kind of a logic to it. And for me, having money is not any good if you don't have someone to share it with. Having power is not any good if you don't have the wisdom to govern it. Having wisdom is not any good if you don't have power to make changes, or to make effective change. The only thing out of those four that's good and enough completely on its own is love. So, I wouldn't mind having some money or power or wisdom. Without the love, everything else kind of pales. So, that's my answer for sure. On to my question. I want to know what your biggest pet peeves are. My absolute number one is I cannot stand to hear people chew. It's repulsive. It makes me want to gag. I had an ex-boyfriend who used to eat Doritos on the phone with me, and now my memories took rain out. I swear to God, the gods are against me. Anyway, other pet peeves. Can't stand the sound of cracking, like, joints and knuckles, I think, because my fingers don't crack. I can try till I'm blue in the face and it won't happen. Aw, Julius wants to say hello. Say hi. It wigs me out. I think because it sounds like it's painful. And when other people do it, it freaks me out. I've recorded this 2 other times and gone into this big long rant that I don't feel like going into again. But basically, I also hate when people can't keep an open mind about things. I feel like it's important to go into things with an open mind, on a blank slate, and try to appreciate what other people see in it. And it drives me crazy when people either aren't able or aren't willing to do that. Anyways, I'm now officially frustrated with technology again. I will talk to you guys next week, and I love you, and I miss you, and I'll see all your happy little faces later. Love you. Bye.